Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski of DOstampingWithDawn.com, and I'm here with another How'd She Do That video. We have a sweet wiper card for you today, so let's get started.
This cute card, I got it from one of my Do Stamper Stars, who's a team member, and it's called a wiper card. So it folds flat, and you could put a greeting here, and it opens like that. So I'll show it to you this way as well. Isn't that cool? It's very cool. So I kind of dissected it a little bit, and I came up with my card that uses let's see, this is the Garden Impressions Suite, or Abstract Impressions, I think maybe is the paper. And I'm using that cute 9 Lives bundle in the Occasions catalog. So the paper comes from the annual catalog. And this little greeting says, "A friend like you comes around once in 9 lives." And when you open it, I know, isn't that cute? A little cat appears. So you could make a ton of these for your friends, especially people who like cats. Maybe you can adapt it to the dog stamp and bundle that we have out there. Cute. So I'm going to also use some different paper in demonstrating today's card. All right, so we're going to use, let's see, I have it right here. We're going to use the How Sweet It Is paper. And I love this one pattern because you can go ahead and just cut out pieces from it. And what I did for this card is that I backed it with white paper, so some Whisper White. And so I adhered that on because I wanted it a little bit stiffer, so when that pops up, it holds a little bit better. So I did that. I actually cut out a few of them because I wasn't sure which one I wanted. So there's the 3 that I get to choose from. Let's call it that. And I knew I wanted some sort of saying on there, so I went ahead and stamped both the frame and the greeting and then die cut that as well. So those are kind of ready for us to decorate. So let's get to the card mechanics and measurements, all right? So this is an 8.5 by 11, and we need it to measure 7.5. So I'm going to cut off 1 inch. All right. And then we're going to do some scoring. So I've marked this so you can see, if you can, this is that 7.5. So we've got it marked down to that. And this is how you're going to put it in your scoreboard here. So I see, oh, there it is. So for me, there's 2 ends to this scoring tool, and I like the larger end. So I'm going to score it at 1.5 all the way down and 3. All right, now we're done with our scoring. For these 2 pieces, the back piece obviously is taller and the front piece is shorter, but they are scored exactly the same. One is just flipped. So that's what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this. This one is, of course, 7.5, and it's going to go to 4.5. We're going to cut it. All right. We're going to cut it 4.5. So that's my big piece. So the scoring is on the right-hand side. And then for my smaller piece, we want 2.25. Okay, and I'm going to make the scoring lines on the left side. And that really kind of is the base of our card. You're going to do a little folding. And don't worry if you folded it like mountain and hill and all that kind of stuff. It will get figured out as we put it together. But that is correct. It's going to look like this. Okay. And then on this one, I always seem to do this one wrong. Yeah, so I'm going to do it backwards all the time. So it's going to look like this. And then they're going to come together like this. See how easy that is? Now, you do kind of want to do some decorating. And I'm going to walk you through how the wiper works. All right? So I'm going to do that on some templates that I've created. And I believe this is kind of, for me, the easiest way to do this. So I actually have gone ahead and attached this one edge on the small to the large. Okay, so you only want to attach it on just this piece, but only on the end. So that's where those two are going to go together. This is just a template. I recommend saving it, and then you'll have it to look at when you make your wiper cards in the future. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to go ahead and let this stay folded. So this is what the back looks like. And I've done a square of 2 inches this way by 2 1/4 inch this way. Now, you're going to see as I demonstrate the final card that I did something a little bit different, but this is the basic way. Like this card, this panel is 2 by 2. So it could have come up a little bit higher and you could put more butterflies on it. And so that's what I'm saying, is that you can play with this a little bit, but only a little bit, because if you get too tall, it's going to not be able to go past some of the folds, if that makes any sense. All right, so the best way to look at this, I'm going to do this so you can see. This is where my score line is, and this is where my other score line is. So you're going to wind, let's do it on the purple, or the pink. This is my Mellow Mambo. So you want to rest it here, and you're going to take this lower right corner and fold it upwards, okay? So that's how that's going to work, all right? Then I recommend glue dots underneath there, and you're going to attach it. Now you can see, or maybe you can't. I'll bring it up closer. I have matched up this corner line to this scored line and this top line. Okay, so that's how the wiper piece is going to work. It's going to get folded back, and when you fold it back, you can see how I have that matching there, and you can see how I have it matching here too. So it doesn't get in the way of things. All right, so that's how you put your wiper card together. And eventually, after you've done a little bit of decorating, there we go. So I'll get there. So this piece here is going to be down here and adhered, and when it is folded, it's going to look like this, and I'm just holding this together, and when it opens, it's going to open like that. All right, now you can choose to put like a greeting here or on the back here. That is crafter's choice, whatever you want. All right, so let's put our How Sweet It Is card together. So here's what I got. And I will have these on my blog, hopefully tomorrow. So this piece is that 4.5 by 7.5, and it's scored at that 1.5 and 3. And we're going to add these designer series paper to it. So it'll sit like this. So how that is this piece is 4.25 by 4.25. These pieces are 4.25 by 1 1/4. And I want to talk a little bit about that. So for the bottom one, you can see I'm using these polka dots. They could go in any way and it wouldn't matter. But for this stripe, I really kind of had to think about it. So I end up wanting to have it this way, which is not my normal way of wanting to do things. I like things up and down like this. But when I got to thinking about what these sections, because they're so thin, would look like, I would probably only have 2 colors in there. And I really wanted to see a little bit more. All right. So then you'd want to cut at 4.25 this way. And then you would turn it, and then you do your other pieces. I hope that makes sense. A little tip for you. Okay, and then the bottom, you can see that our 2 score lines are on the left side. So what you're going to need for that is 2 inch by 1 1/4 inch, 2 pieces, 2 inch by 4 1/4 for this one. Let's go ahead and just put these together real quick, because once we get these together, the fun part of the wiper card will start. And that's what that's going to look like. You see, and I always fold it wrong, so that's okay. You can always fold it the other direction. Oh, this is cute. This is cute. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece to this piece, okay? So I like to start on that end. And then I put it next to it so I know how high I need to go. Okay. I know I do use a lot for 3D projects. I like to use a lot of adhesive. I want to make sure they stay put together. Okay, give that a good rubbing down. Okay, so we're getting closer. So now we're to the part where we're going to put our wiper on. This is our back side. And let's see. And remember, on the little template that we did, okay, so I used a piece that was 1.5 by 2 1/4, but you can use various sizes depending on what you want to use as for your pop-up, all right? So this one, we're just going to pull this off. I know I'm terrible, but it was ready to go. So I kind of am thinking, like, if you put like a little mark here, that's roughly where these things are going to line up. So remember, you fold the bottom right corner backwards, and this time I'm going to add some glue dots because we're really going to make it stick this time. I love glue dots, especially for stuff like this. All right, I can place them exactly where I want. Okay, so we're going to line up this a bit like this, and I'm going to show you why for this particular one I have brought this down a smidge. So that's what you think that's about. It's not 1/8 of an inch and it's not 1/4 of an inch, so somewhere in between. So let me show you how that looks. I'll bring it in closer. So normally I would have that match the edge. However, I wanted to use this guy. And notice that this guy is doesn't have a straight edge, and I really wanted to just see this piece. So that's what I mean about playing with this. It's still all going to fold just like this. You put your piece on, you fold it up, you put your adhesive on, and you fold it back. Then you play with this piece area to make sure how it's going to line up. Because watch, if I were to have this lined up all the way to the top, let me show you. It would peek out from behind before it's open. And that would spoil part of the surprise, don't you think? We're going to attach it about right there. See how I'm making sure it's coming down there. Okay, and then when that pops up, so I may have to trim that a little bit. So because now when I'm ready to pop this up, it's getting in the way. I'm just going to trim it. There we go. Perfect. It can move. All right. So here's the magic moment. We're going to go ahead and put adhesive on this last panel here. Okay. And this is going to fold down. There we go. As that's folding down. Sorry, my stuff's getting in the way here. This will go flat on the edge. Give it a good rub. And I think, oh, see, there's just a teeny little piece. I might cut that off. So now I want to put something like this on, but I need to kind of go, where will it position? Ooh, I maybe want it a little closer. Sweets for you. So let's put on some dimensionals. Maybe, I thought I had some here, but that's all right. We'll use some glue dots again. So this might be one of those videos you got to watch twice to kind of get the hang of, but that's okay. I'm just going to give it a light press to make sure that's where I want it. So here's what I added is these glimmer enamel dots. And I also added this little treat. Like I say, I thought it looked a little plain. So here's a few dots, but when you open it, ooh, there's even more dots. Did I go crazy? No, I think it looks cute. So let me show you that to you again. It opens like that. Remember, this is the wiper card. All right, so let's review. That was the How Sweet It Is paper and the sweet. And then this was the original card that I got from Lynette with the butterflies. Cute. And then this was the other card that I had made from Lynette's card with the cat, the 9 lives. So have a fabulous day.